About 1 month ago, the caretakers heard something, a scuffle out on exhibit, and heard one of the chimpanzees give an alarm call, which usually is an indication that something's going on. So they immediately went to check it out and saw Cindy was on the floor of the habitat on the grass where there was kind of a rocky area. And she was slowly coming out of that, but it really appeared that she couldn't see. She was using her hands to guide herself back into the indoor enclosure and really didn't seem to be able to see much of anything. So we were able to isolate her, monitor her overnight, and the vision did slowly return, but we did realize that her vision didn't really fully return and seemed to be quite poor. So we really wanted to investigate that further. Cindy is our 52-year-old female chimpanzee. She is the oldest chimpanzee we have here at the zoo and is considered a geriatric animal.
I had the privilege of coming today to examine a chimp named Cindy. The first thing that we do is check what's called the visual acuity, which for a human would be the equivalent of reading an eye chart. But for young kids or humans that don't speak, or for animals, we can use these things called teller acuity cards. The first thing we learned is her visual acuity is not very good. Now, we knew that the right eye was poorly seeing because she had a scar in the front of the eye that had to be surgically removed, and she also had some damage to the lens of her eye that had to be removed. So we knew that that eye wasn't going to see very well. Unfortunately, we also learned by doing these cards that the vision in the left eye was definitely decreased. And so then the next thing we did was to check how her eyes could move by having her track light, and they actually moved really well. But the problem is the right eye was not lined up with the left eye, and that's because it didn't see very well. It was out to the side, and we call that an exotropia.
Dr. Siatkowski is fantastic. We've worked with him several years ago with one of our young chimpanzees, Siri, when she seemed to be having some issues. These partnerships are really critical for us taking the most excellent care of the animals here at the zoo, because while I'm a zoo veterinarian and I specialize in all these different animals, I'm not an ophthalmologist. That specialty that they have at Dean McGee is really valuable to bring here and then attribute that to our patients. Cindy's actually doing really well. She's still in good spirits, she's eating well, she's able to maneuver around her habitat, but she does have pretty diminished vision. So our caretakers have had to do some modifications to her daily routine to try to accommodate that. She still gets to go outside, she still gets all of her favorite treats and all of her enrichment and training opportunities, but just in a little bit smaller area where she can't hurt herself and with a lower number of group members at a time.